The Epic of Gilgamesh is one of the oldest known stories in human history, originating from ancient Mesopotamia, specifically the Sumerians. The epic begins in the city of Uruk, where Gilgamesh, a powerful king, rules with unmatched strength. Gilgamesh is described as two-thirds god and one-third human, possessing extraordinary abilities, but his rule is oppressive and tyrannical, causing great suffering among his people. The creation of Enkidu. To curb Gilgamesh's excesses, the gods create Enkidu, a wild man who lives among animals in the wilderness. Enkidu is as strong as Gilgamesh and represents a balance to his power. A trapper encounters Enkidu and informs Gilgamesh of this wild man. Gilgamesh sends Shamhat, a temple prostitute, to tame Enkidu by introducing him to human ways. After spending time with Shamhat, Enkidu loses his wildness and gains wisdom, becoming more human in nature. The bond of friendship. Enkidu travels to Uruk and challenges Gilgamesh to a fight. After a fierce battle, neither can claim victory, and they come to respect each other. This marks the beginning of a deep friendship between Gilgamesh and Enkidu. Together, they embark on heroic adventures, driven by their desire to achieve greatness and immortal fame. The journey to the cedar forest. Gilgamesh and Enkidu set out on a dangerous journey to the cedar forest, home of the fearsome guardian Humbaba. Gilgamesh seeks to kill Humbaba and cut down the sacred cedars, a feat that would bring them eternal glory. After a brutal battle, they manage to defeat Humbaba, despite his pleas for mercy, and bring the cedars back to Uruk. The wrath of the gods. The goddess Ishtar, infatuated with Gilgamesh, proposes marriage to him. Gilgamesh rejects her, listing the fates of her previous lovers who have all met tragic ends. Furious at this rejection, Ishtar sends the bull of heaven to punish Gilgamesh and Uruk. Gilgamesh and Enkidu fight the bull of heaven together and ultimately kill it. This act of defiance angers the gods, who decide that one of the heroes must pay with his life. The death of Enkidu. The gods decree that Enkidu must die as punishment for their defiance. Enkidu falls gravely ill, and after days of suffering, he dies. Gilgamesh is devastated by the loss of his friend and is overwhelmed with grief. This marks a turning point for Gilgamesh, as he becomes deeply aware of his own mortality. The quest for immortality. Consumed by the fear of death, Gilgamesh embarks on a quest to find Utnapishtim, the only human granted immortality by the gods after surviving a great flood. Gilgamesh travels through dangerous terrain, crosses the sea, and endures many trials to reach Utnapishtim. The story of the flood. When Gilgamesh finally meets Utnapishtim, he is told the story of the Great Flood. Utnapishtim reveals that he was chosen by the god Ea to build a boat and save humanity from a deluge that would wipe out all life. After the flood, the gods granted Utnapishtim and his wife immortality, but Utnapishtim explains that this gift was a unique exception and cannot be granted to others. The plant of eternal youth. Utnapishtim, feeling pity for Gilgamesh, tells him about a plant at the bottom of the sea that can restore youth. Gilgamesh retrieves the plant, but, exhausted from his journey, falls asleep on his return. While he sleeps, a serpent steals the plant, and Gilgamesh wakes up to find his hopes dashed. The acceptance of mortality. Returning to Uruk empty-handed, Gilgamesh finally comes to terms with his mortality.